I'm melting. It's
Melting.
too hot. It's too hot.
Okay. It's not that. It's nice. It's like 77 right now.
Oh, I'm jealous. It's like it's really fucking hot here on the East Coast, and I don't think the AC in this house works because
I need AC.
I'm like sweating right now. So
Yeah,
if I am sweating live on this show, please don't judge me because I'm dying.
I absolutely need AC. Do you know you missed yesterday, Perri?
Oh, fuck you. What? Roger's birthday? I'm already really sad about it. Don't rub it in.
And cornhole. You missed cornhole. We finally got the boards out.
I'm going to put a positive spin on that. Now everyone's gotten a taste of it, but no one knows how damn good I am. So I can use the time between yesterday and when we play next to be like, you think you could beat me, but you can't.
I'm ready to actually. No, I want to use these cornhole boards more. We have the outdoor area. Like, we have the space. Like, we're around for the summer. Competition time.
I'm in. Next weekend, please.
Okay.
All
right.
I also need to give Rogers the biggest birthday hug ever. Your new place looks really great, too.
No, this is where I've always... What do you mean? This is where I've always lived.
Yeah, I mean, you really cleaned it up nicely. There's like a lot of really good depth. I love like the atmosphere and the color patterns you've gone with.
Like a dumbass. I can't even keep this up. It's just silly.
I could have gone on with it for a while.
You could have. I know you could have.
This is where the green screen budget comes from. It's all Mike K. Thank you.
It about looks $20 too.
Thank you for supporting the show and these shenanigans, Mike. Happy Friday, everyone. I'm catching a late night screening of MaXXXine, so I'll have to bow out before the spoiler discussion. Between this and Kill, it's a great weekend for genre filmmaking. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. And thank you for bringing this up, Mike. Just in case everybody out there is concerned by the title and the thumbnail of this video, do not worry if you haven't seen MaXXXine. We always do a very clear spoiler warning, and we save the spoiler talk for the end of Merri Hour, so you don't have to miss anything, and you don't have to worry about being spoiled. You are safe.
We will tell you. We won't
every time I see Mike pop up, I think about animation. You know what I did the other night?
No.
I went with my niece and nephew to see Inside Out 2. So that was the fourth time I've seen it. I still love it very, very much. I think I might have liked it even more this fourth time around, though, because one of the coolest things about seeing it with my 5-year-old niece is all of the things that happened in the movie that would make me stop and think to myself, I'm so glad she's experiencing this.
Yeah, that's
cool. Like that's a really cool thing.
Well, it was weird because I had that reverse happen to me because I went to go see Despicable Me on Monday, and it was one of those like fan screenings. I was one of the only critics there. So when I say fan, obviously screaming children, only like rows and rows of kids with like one adult for every 5 kids. So I was like, all right, let's see how they react to this, because obviously my experience with Despicable Me 4 is going to be different than a small child who is obsessed with Bob and the Minions and stuff like that. So that was crazy to sit there, and they like the kids next to me were silent for so long, and I was surprised because like beforehand they were doing all these like giveaways and stuff, and they like it was crazy, it was chaotic, but that movie kept them way more silent than I was expecting. Also, like, me too.
Now that I have tiny children in my life, I am very impressed by a movie that can entertain someone that age for that long. The niece does want to see Despicable Me 4.
It's bad.
Yeah, I don't really want to go see it. I do love the Minions. I'm endlessly entertained by them, but I don't know. I don't think I really want to see it.
That's the problem. The problem with this movie, and I'll just do my quick little chat now about this, is like the best way I can describe it is it just feels like they had a bunch of leftover Despicable Me like special feature shorts, and they didn't know what to do with them. So they put them into a movie that kind of comes together, but never really does. Because like you just mentioned, the Minions. Love the Minions. I have no problem with the Minions. Like I totally okay with all the movies, and I love the first Despicable Me too. Like I'm not coming into this with some kind of hatred, but yeah, they didn't bother to put a plot together, and they just split the team up, let's say. So you have one story happening here, one story happening here, the Minions over here, and there's like so little collection of all of them that it's really unbearable. It basically is like, we have to crank out another Despicable Me. It's going to make so much money. What's tracking 125? So like,
there's going to be a fifth.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, I just hope they get back to making actual movies, because this felt like they just cobbled together what they had because they knew it was going to make money. Will Ferrell is barely anything as the main villain this time, which sucks because I wanted to see more from that. Just really,
yeah, I'm quite happy that I am avoiding that one.
So,
although I probably won't be able to avoid it forever, because if she does ask me to see it, I will see it with her to make her happy.
Yeah.
We have a couple soupies.
Get them.
Brett's here. Finally saw Pearl last night. How on earth did Mia Goth not get an Oscar nod for that? That movie doesn't work without her performance. I mean, this is one of the horror performances that I do wish had gone all the way to an Oscar nomination. I mean, it's cliche to bring these examples up at this point because it's so well known and talked about. It is Mia Goth and Pearl in particular, and Toni Collette in Hereditary. I'll also throw Lupita Nyong'o in Us. Those are the three that I really, really get behind pretty hardcore.
Jane Levy in Evil Dead. That's I throw that one in there too.
I'll take that one too. I'll take that too.
A+ performance, whether you're talking about horror or not. That's in it for mine.
Speaking of Evil Dead, though, I would have given Alyssa Sutherland a supporting nomination for Evil Dead Rise.
100%.
Yeah, I could talk about her unfairly missing out at the Oscars all day long.
Elijah Wood for Maniac.
He's quite good in that.
Just fucking.
I was about to say something I shouldn't have.
Why?
I stopped myself. I could tell you after, but I can't tell the world.
Oh, got it.
Do you know where I'm going with that thought?
No.
Okay.
I'll hold it.
Okay. I feel like we did this, Vincent. Right? Rank top.
We might have.
We have like a favorite.
We did something like
question
this
recently.
I can't do top 10 off the top of my head, but I can tell you up there.
I could
no
never.
matter what is.
Yeah, speaking of cliches, I mean, the Fly.
Well, like that's the thing. Like you're not getting away from a cliche here because they're so good. Like it's Cronenberg is one of those directors that like it's Videodrome or The Fly. Depending on the day for me, that's in my top slot. But like
not Crimes of the Future. That didn't overtake the top of your list.
No, I did not like Crimes of the Future.
I was mixed on Crimes of the Future, but it was a not for me kind of vibe.
I appreciate what he's trying to go for, and I appreciate trying to bring the body horror into all that. Just felt really slim storytelling wise, where like Videodrome is so rich and like everything else has so much commentary. I feel like Crimes of the Future just wasn't there for me.
Yeah, as someone who usually really loves world building information, that like I was really itching for that because the Crimes of the Future scenario and details are so interesting. I wanted more about them. Hey,
underrated.
The judge had won. Look who's here. I feel like we haven't seen you in a little while. Hope you're doing well. Greetings, Perri and Matt. Love and respect from the UK, guys. Right back at you. So, we are doing a MaXXXine non-spoiler review.
Okay.
And then we're going to go heavy into MaXXXine spoilers. Until then, we're going to just like hang out and take questions. So whether you want to send it in super chat form or you just want to send something for fun in the live chat, we're going to answer as many of them as possible. Super stickers. When is StreamYard going to connect super stickers?
Never.
So that we can see these lovely super stickers live and not after the fact.
I'm on. I have my headphones on, so I can go take a look very quickly.
At what?
Can I not see it in the chat? Like if I go into the chat right now.
Oh, I know what you mean.
It's a little pair saying, "How's it going?"
Oh, we miss out on these delights.
Also weird hearing my voice and your voice on a delay in the YouTube as you're talking to me.
Hey, we've got some happy Fridays here. Look who's here, Matt.
Yeah, we can.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's almost time. I'm gonna start to have to message people soon. I feel I'll use this as an opportunity to say yet again, I feel terrible for the Patreon community because I'm so fucking slow with fulfilling rewards.
Yeah.
Matt, I just I can't. I have no time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying. It's not for lack
it.
of tries. The tries are happening.
I
But
get
I
it.
keep saying to myself, I'm going to use these weeks to catch up, and then I catch up a little, but it's not enough.
Every time I catch up, I take 3 steps back.
I know that's what it feels like, and I feel terrible about it. But I'm gonna figure something out. And no matter what, Patreon fantasy football is happening. So this is probably the time to start signing up for that, actually, because I guess you would have to be signed up by the end of July if you want to play.
Yeah.
And fuck, I love playing.
Yeah. Did you see the Giants Hard Knock?
No. Hold on one second. I think that door over there is open because I can hear lots of stuff. I don't know if you could hear it, but I can.
I can't hear shit.
I can hear it.
You can put it closed.
The TV's on. No, the TV's not on. Malcolm, are you talking? Are you what I hear?
I'm just talking to your cat.
Come here, you big baby. Come here, you big baby. You never say hello. You never say hello. You're gonna say hello today. My God, you are large. Look at the size. Look at the size of this thing.
That is bigger than
He's as big as my head. You're a big boy, and I love every ounce of you.
Yeah.
I love every ounce of you.
Anyway, so if we're talking about football very quickly, the Giants, they're extending Hard Knocks longer than they usually do, and it's the Giants this year. So they're doing it a Hard Knocks. I think the first episode went up on July 2nd, so that'll be this week. And there's gonna be 5 episodes, and instead of it just being training camp, they're actually showing the draft and them discussing free agency, and it's so funny because the commercial I saw and what they showed is them talking about Saquon Barkley and the decision to do we tag him, do we let him go to free agency, what do we do, how much money do we give him, and you hear one of the guys being who's gonna pay that much, who's gonna overpay for Saquon at this point, I think we can get him. And it's just oh, they really thought they were going to get him back, and they weren't going to get poached by another team with way more money.
Sorry, I blanked.
Mm-hmm.
I warned you.
You're fine.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you're still doing work while you're trying to play during Merri Hour.
I know.
Now I feel bad derailing the thought that you were on, and also derailing Caleb's super chat again. I will tell you, the thing that I'm side working on right now is probably one of the single coolest announcements I'll ever get to make when the time comes. And you know what it is, Matt.
Oh, okay.
I cannot wait.
Yeah,
to
that's
share
fun.
This with the world. Can't wait.
My lips are sealed.
You could keep talking.
No, I was just saying they've extended Hard Knocks, which is a cool thing, which I was not expecting, because usually you just see training camp, but now you're seeing actual behind the scenes trade talk, before the draft, during the draft, how all that stuff goes down. I just like those inner working kind of looks behind there.
I need to watch a little of that. I need to start doing my homework too. I feel a little out of the loop.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because people are starting to actually post legit information and rankings.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel a little all over the place between all the trades and the draft information that I didn't keep up with.
I mean, it depends where you're looking at, obviously. I love my Texans, so I am just focusing there for now. I tried to keep up the rookies. I tried to keep a look on how the Chicago Bears wide receiver room is going to look now, because with Keenan and Romeo and everybody there, they're fucking stacked, but somebody has to lose out there. They're not all going to be star performers. So it's going to be the question of is one of the rookies going to get left behind a little bit? Do you invest early, or is Keenan going to be the one that gets left behind now at an older age? I don't know.
That would be sad.
Oh, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, there's just too many good players.
I need to do a little catching up on the Chargers situation, because we're going to wind up going to a Chargers game.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So I got to know my shit.
I would hope so.
Keeping up a little bit about the Jets and Bills, just because that is the game I know I'm going to. And then fucking NFL TikTok, Matt. Like
Yeah.
all the silly
Yeah.
shit that's not gonna matter. You know what it is? It's all the silly shit that's gonna wind up ruining my draft because I'm liking players for their personalities and like maybe they're not as skilled or not the best
Yeah,
players,
you're
like, but I'm gonna love them so much that I'm gonna want them on my team.
that's like when I was a little kid and I was a Miami Dolphins fan just because I like the colors. I like
Yeah,
I like the logo and I like the colors. Yeah,
that
of
is
course. Let's go.
exactly what it's gonna be. TikTok is going to ruin my draft.
Yeah. Chargers gonna have a rough year though. Joyce is 100% right.
Yeah.
They're not tanking, but like they cleaned house last year, and like Quentin Johnson is not a number one as
Yeah.
he showed last year with those stone hands.
It's
So
it's a little bit of a mess.
so yeah, they're not gonna be good.
It's really
The Bills,
disappointing.
I'm real nervous because in my dynasty fantasy football league, I've got Josh Allen as my dynasty quarterback, and I thought I was set for a long time, but as good as he is, I am real nervous about his receiver core. They let Stephon go. They didn't fill it back. I don't know.
I guess so,
they let him go to the Texans, so I'm not mad. But
I
like,
know.
no.
At least that's a good double-edged sword for you. But yeah, I'm really, really, really hyped for fantasy football. I need that like hole in my heart filled again, you know?
I get it. Did we miss it? I just want to make sure.
I did see a couple.
No, just two more. We're good. We're in Vincent and then Brett.
Vincent was just asking, so excited for the shrouds.
I am excited for the shrouds. Don't get me wrong. Like that's I am. As long as it's a bounce back from honestly Crimes of the Future. Like if it's a bounce back from that, like I felt so underwhelmed based on his catalog, and I think the Shroud sounds and feels more in line.
Did it premiere somewhere?
Yeah, what festival did it premiere at?
Yeah. Because I'm like, why?
Shroud.
Yeah, I don't.
Reactions.
Mixed or average reviews wherever it did premiere. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know that.
Nightmare of interconnected surveillance world that reaches beyond the grave. Fucking into it. Whatever weird shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna see it no matter what.
Yeah.
Brett wants to know, Perri, are you caught up on Hell of a Boss? The song that Solus sings is so damn catchy and incredibly heartfelt in the latest episode. I am not caught up, but you have my word that I will be caught up very soon because there's a reason why I have to be caught up. So this like 100% will get done in the next week or two. So Brett, don't stop asking this question because I'll be able to give you full thoughts very soon. You know what I did binge, Matt? Did I tell you about this at all last week?
I think.
I might have brought it up last week, so I might have started it by that point. I watched, just because I have Cobra Kai on the brain, I put on Peyton List's other show. It's on Paramount Plus. Spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Like, that's like legit good. I don't know what I thought. I mean, I don't even think it's a, judging a book by the cover kind of situation, but I don't know where my assumptions about the show came from. But it wasn't what I expected at all. I thought it was really well done. It is wonderfully acted across the board. She is an exceptional anchor in that show. And
yeah, they had a little setup at South by Southwest for that show. Yeah,
really? Did you watch it? I feel like you might.
No, I did not.
Like it leans like teen drama ish, but like the supernatural stuff, I thought was very, very well done.
Yeah, no, I again the list of things that I still have to do the Bear. I still have to.
Yeah, I got to watch the Bear season 3.
Like I said, Shoresy was my binge last week was Shoresy, so that was my treat to myself, and the Bear will be the next one that I do.
Good treat.
My God, but yeah, like even just being on. You said it was Peacock though, right?
Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. Like I'm never going into Paramount Plus. Like that's the problem. Like
you can get screeners
in Paramount Plus.
No, you can message someone at Paramount Plus and be like, I need screeners for feature consideration.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah,
if you really like it and you feel compelled to cover it.
That's not how it works.
I mean, sometimes it can be.
I mean, no, that is true. That is how it works. If I do take the screeners though, I feel like I have to write about it. And so I only take it for something that I'm like,
I mean, to be fair about it, that is how it should be.
Yeah.
But sometimes feature consideration is just feature consideration. And it's like if you see something and it's not worth covering in that respect, you can't be obligated just because you saw the thing. So I don't know.
Andrew. Do you know this is the forbidden shirt, right?
Do you know who else knows the secret, by the way?
Oh, Andrew.
Yes. He knows the secret. It's a good
You
secret.
you know about Forbidden Shirt though, right?
I don't.
Oh.
What is Forbidden Shirt? Is that another company?
No. Andrew made this. This is
Oh,
Andrew's
okay.
smash up.
I feel
But
like all of Andrew's shirts are Forbidden Shirts.
you got yelled at for it. So I'm one of the only people that have
Really?
it. Yeah.
Why? Because like the brands didn't want to play nice?
One didn't.
Oh, okay.
It
Okay.
was just a funny little instance of and then I was like, dude, I gotta get one. And he immediately was like, yeah, I'll send you one. That's fine. So like I didn't purchase it. There was nothing wrong. It was just a friend thing.
Pretty cool. I'm excited.
Andrew's also working on something for me.
I want to know what it is. You don't have to tell me right now.
Shoes. It's obviously shoes. I'm not gonna lie about that.
No, Andrew's
working on a pair for me.
Andrew's working on not shoes for me.
He's working on. I don't care about talking about it. It's not a secret. I gave him a folder of all of my favorite red shots in a movie. And so literally I was like, go have fun with it. I was like, go see what happens. So he's working on that.
Oh, that could be very, very cool. Yeah. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
All right. We got Toon Talks here. I also have cat hair on my face. I can't get it off. Hey guys, movie watching update. Was pleasantly surprised by the new Quiet Place. Matt is right. Despicable Me 4 sucked so badly. And my unfortunate opinion that I thought MaXXXine was disappointing mess with a completely botched third act.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we will get there.
We'll get there.
I disagree.
I agree with it more than I did when I left the theater.
We'll more?
Yeah, I agree with that more now that I've had time to think about it.
I will talk about it in a little bit. John Lee says, are you guys looking forward to any TV shows coming out soon? I'm waiting for Industry Season 3. That's a binge that I keep meaning to do. Sarah Goldberg and Kit Harington joining the season. I hear the best things about Industry.
I have not watched a single episode. I will have to trust their judgment on that.
I did watch a single episode the first time I interviewed Myha'la Harold, but then I meant to do the binge and didn't do it, and now I must.
I got it.
I must.
Do we finally get Agatha this year?
I think it is this year, right? Yeah.
I mean, like that's one of mine on my list.
Yeah. I can't believe how shitty I am at keeping up with shit.
TV,
except,
like worse.
Except fucking Cobra Kai. We're getting a 1-2 punch of Cobra Kai in 2024. Wow. July 18th, part 1 comes out, and then in November we get part 2, and then part 3 comes in 2025. And shit, am I excited?
Yeah. I
love that show in general. I love that cast. I want to see them bring it home so strong, so badly.
Is it weird to say I'm kind of curious about Sausage Party?
No, I'm curious too. I like Sausage Party the movie.
I was gonna say I don't hate the movie. I think the movie's kind of funny. So
that was one of my favorite South by Southwest screenings because I love when I feel like they haven't done this in forever now that I'm about to say it. I love when they do work in progress screenings. And in particular, I love seeing a work in progress screening of an animated feature. And I thought that was one of the coolest things to see an unfinished version of that.
Yeah, that was like it's harder as a critic, obviously, because you have to write about something that is unfinished, and that's what your review kind of comes out as. But
it can't be a review. It can't be a review.
Exactly. It was it's a work in progress review. Like my site still wanted me to write about it, so that's why.
Right. I mean, writing about it's important.
It was also that was one of the worst Q&As I've ever seen.
Why?
Do you don't remember it going off the rails?
I wonder if I got up and left.
You might have left, but like this person got up and like, listen, Sausage Party is exactly what it says it is. It's literally about food coming to life and doing terror. Like it's on the title. And this person got up and was like, "Why did you have Selma Hayek voice the taco?" And like they were all like, "That she wanted to. This was not something we for like it." She started to get real. Like this movie is very inappropriate because like you had this person and it was like, oh boy. Everyone on stage was like, everyone in the crowd too is like, go away. What are you doing? This isn't the thing.
I do not remember that. So I think I probably got up.
You might have left. The crowd was even just like, get the hell out of here.
There's also the possibility that it's just being clouded by the more recent off the rails Q&A thing. I remember where that one person was heckling during the Evil Dead Rise Q&A. Oh my
God. That was crazy. That was legit.
Like taking up most of my brain space thinking about this topic right now.
He was asleep most of the movie or scrolling on his phone half the movie. So like there was something going on there. My worst actually. Sausage Party was one of the worst, but it was still South by. I don't know why South by always has the worst Q&As, but it was A Quiet Place, and it was a local journalist who like grew up in the same town as like Beck and Woods. And I swear to God, she took the mic over for, I want to say, like 5 minutes and would not leave, and was like, in a single breath, she said who she was and how important she was as like the editor of like the Milwaukee, I don't know, just some random Iowa suburb newspaper. Made fun of John Krasinski, like made fun of the movie to Krasinski and everyone who was up there, just being like, I feel like, horror movies, blah, blah, blah. And then she just like backhanded all of them in the comment. And then the end of it is like, but I'm really just here. And she turns around to try to find Beck and Woods, and she doesn't even talk to or address anyone on the stage. And she's like, I just want an exclusive interview with Beck and Woods. So like, I would love if like they were here, if you can stand up right now and we can. And it was just like, what is happening?
Yeah. Those sometimes those questions can be rough.
It's insane, but it's always like I've been to bad Q&As other places, but it's always like South by gets the crazies. I don't get it.
Maybe people get riled up by the Austin vibe and
stay weird. I mean, Austin's motto is
there. I don't know.
Austin's motto is literally stay weird. Yeah, so I mean, they do uphold that.
They're asking for it. All right. You still didn't watch the Nosferatu trailer, man.
It's good. It's vibes. It's exactly what you want from it. Like it's vibes. Exactly what you expect from it. Like it's Eggers doing.
We know how I feel about the word vibes.
I know, but like it's Eggers doing what he was born to do. I don't like you know what it is.
Yeah, vibes is fine.
Did you want me to say anything about Axel before we started?
Before we started?
Like MaXXXine?
Oh,
I was saying, do you want to say anything about Axel F before we get into MaXXXine? Because that is one of the big movies coming out.
We could do Axel first.
Yeah, just very quick thoughts on Axel F. I was pleasantly surprised. For me, like, it's hard not to compare it to Ride or Die, Bad Boys Ride or Die, because that just came out, and you have these two movies that are kind of doing the same thing. Like, they're based on properties that have been around for a while. In the case of Axel F, it's been 30 years since we got the last one. And it's like, I think it helps that Beverly Hills Cop 3 is so bad because that is what you have to compare this to in franchise. And yeah, most things were going to be better. But I think it does a decent job. Again, not as good as Ride or Die, in my opinion, but it does a decent job of pulling Axel Foley back into action in a way that makes sense, is a way that doesn't feel like it's pandery. It does the nostalgia of bringing back old characters, like all the main old cast is still there and they come back. And it's weird because they have aged so much and they can't do a bunch of stuff that they used to, but they still make jokes about that. Eddie Murphy's just still funny. It still feels Netflixy, which is something like, it's too long. It's a little too surface value and it definitely overstays its welcome. But I didn't expect to care about this. Like, I'm being straight up honest. I did not expect to care about Axel F. And I think it actually works as a nice little turn it on. And if you like the franchise, if you're into all that kind of joke around, like, I think it's nice how Axel actually looks kind of bumbling in a lot of these scenes in the new one. And it's baked in. Like, he's doing his best, but like his best isn't as good anymore. So you get new characters, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, his daughter. It's great. So cool. A good little stream.
I'm glad to hear that. I don't know how soon I'll circle back to that one, but I do like the fact that I've heard a pretty good reaction to it.
Yeah, I some people, I saw somewhere like somebody called it like the Creed of the franchise, and like Creed's awesome. This movie's fine. So like I wouldn't get too hyped on it, and I would definitely leave it for like, I have a plane ride or I have something to do and put on the background. Like that, to me, like that's the perfect for it.
There's always a time for those movies. Do you want to hit this other two super chats? Nada Doyle says, did either of you watch Constellation with Noomi Rapace or Dark Matter? I did not watch Constellation, and now that it got canceled, I probably won't circle back to it, to be completely honest. Did you watch it?
No. If we're talking about TV, unfortunately, I'm behind.
Dark Matter I haven't watched either, but I have seen a whole lot of talk about it, so I am a little more interested in circling back to that one.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, maybe. I wish I could be more updated with these things.
There's so many shows.
So many movies. I gotta do the movies
That
first.
too.
It leaves no time for shows.
Well, I feel like I'm a pretty even mix at this
You're an
point.
even mix.
Now we have the Jughead, and I'm turning my sound off because my sister keeps texting me. Jughead says, "Hi, Perri and Matt. I am glad that Wesley Snipes is reprising his role as Blade in Wolverine and Deadpool." Is that did I just say a spoiler? Is that like something
I
we
don't
came and
I don't
said?
know. I'm
Any
seeing if it's
opinions on this matter? Some
hold
more
on.
love and respect. Is this like a rumor thing that people don't want spoiled?
I'm looking up. I don't see anything of
I'm so nervous.
I don't think I see any. I see rumor. I see rumor. I see rumor. I see rumor.
All right.
So I'm gonna say this is rumor. I don't think this is anything we know of just yet. I mean, if it happens, great. I think that's what I want out of this movie. Like that is exactly the kind of scenario that I would want to happen in Deadpool and Wolverine. So like, if true, I'll be stoked. I see nothing that says it's true yet, though, so I'm gonna hold out on it.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that I'm not. My head isn't in the news rotation as much as it was when we were doing Collider Dailies because I miss a lot of the stuff that winds up being wonderful surprises in the final films.
Yeah,
I got to imagine that Deadpool and Wolverine is just going to be absolutely filled with them.
I hope so. Like if they do this right and they actually go all out, I take back everyone. Like Wesley, bring them all in.
I would genuinely be surprised if they didn't go all out because like pressure is on hardcore. Like,
yeah, I get that.
This is going to be a big deal for the franchise and for, you know, getting people back on board, up in the goodwill.
Yeah.
I feel like it's important.
Feels like a good point of starting over too. Just everything they're doing with it, where it's a lot more practical versus like shooting on the volume and stuff like that. And I'm hopeful.
Matt, I have had enough of actors with green screen backdrops.
Yeah, like that, 100%.
Like I'm watching one particular show, and it's just I'm not saying what it is. It is just driving me off my mind. Off my mind.
Yeah, I agree, and it's especially egregious in the moments that like don't have to be. Like I get it if you're shooting an outer space scene or something like that. Of course, you have to do some finagling there.
There's certain shots where it looks so good. Like, because it's captured at the perfect angle and the technology is being used just right. But then there's others where it's just so incredibly obvious. And I feel like the thing maybe I blame the most is just like the coloring on it. Like you can just tell that they don't match precisely. I don't know.
It doesn't look natural. Like that's the thing. It doesn't look natural to me. And I understand why you do it, but I notice Apple does it a lot. And I notice it's in things like I don't know, like things like Shrinking and
Shrinking.
Yeah, 100%.
Where do you see that in Shrinking?
Multiple times.
Give me an example. What like
there's a shot.
Why would it's like a fucking house and a therapist's office? Why would they?
I'm aware of that. One time they're in the garage and you can see out the door in the middle of the frame is the open doorway to the backyard. And
that I could see.
Literally ugly as hell. There's another time when they're sitting on the water tower where there are clearly nothing else there. Oh no, I can go down a list. Like, trust me, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's those instances where it's kind of just like because you are correct. Like
clearly those didn't bother me while watching Shrinking, but given the specificity with which you brought them up and how I can see that happening in those types of shots, I fully believe you.
It's just a thing of like, I mean, like, come on. I was watching like that 70s show and the water tower all the time. The water tower is like a common place they go to hang out. And like, yeah, that's a set. They built that. It's a thing. So it is kind of weird sometimes for me to see in those instances like that, you know.
Jughead, you did not have to do another super chat to apologize. Fine. It's all good. It's all good. I feel like who knows? Who knows? Everyone's saying everything about this movie.
I was gonna say this movie has 1 billion and one like rumors at this point. Like,
I know.
Is T Swift going to show up as Dazzler? All these things we don't know. Like, we have no idea. It was confirmed, then it was unconfirmed, then it was this, and it was that.
I don't even know.
We're never going to know until the movie comes out.
I don't even know. What's the long range forecast looking like for that movie?
Probably pretty damn good.
I would think so. Let's see. I'm on Box Office Pro. Blah 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 blah. Looking at the charts. The most recent piece says Deadpool and Wolverine 175 to 200 million for the opening weekend. That would be a lovely number. Lovely number. Even Twister's tracking 65.85 is pretty solid.
Nice. Stoked on that.
I wonder what Twister's reported production budget is. 200 million. Maybe they need. That's a
okay.
Big price tag. Big price tag. Hopefully it's good though, and it has legs, and it does well. Stoked. It does well worldwide. Maybe.
I'm excited for it. So I mean that is my same thing. And you have the rise of the actors involved. I think like they got a good young cast in a way of like, okay, cool, we can get into this.
Yeah. That is quite the ensemble there.
Oh yeah, it's fucking phenomenal ensemble. Like up and down. Like that's crazy.
And that's the kind of thing Twisters needs, because one of my favorite things about the original Twister movie is that, yes, you have your main characters, but pretty much every single supporting character makes a really big impression. And that only happens with actors who can make small amounts of screen time pop big time and make supporting characters feel uniquely their own. And I think everyone in that original ensemble did that. And I think all the people in the supporting ensemble in this new movie have the acting chops to pull off the same.
Okay. Yeah. I just saw, Mental Me just said Fly Me to the Moon was a pleasant film. And I'm excited. I see that on Monday.
Oh, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that one.
Yeah.
Did we have other stuff to talk about before MaXXXine?
Not really. I briefly touched on Axel. I briefly touched on Despicable.
Oh, those were the two that you had said.
I apologize to anyone in the chat who loved Despicable Me 4. That is my opinion.
Yeah, there was some. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You know, that's how
we're all out. We like our own things. That's the point of this. We all like our own things.
It's all good. All right, let's do last call for live chat questions before we veer into MaXXXine, just so we don't lose people to.
And you can live chat about MaXXXine. You can absolutely talk.
No spoilers yet. Save any
MaXXXine
spoiler live chats for when the warning is up, and then
you will see the banner. It's quite easy.
Yeah. Also, who out there is coming to Comic-Con? That schedule is going to drop soon. I think Comic-Con said the 8th, right? Maybe. I think it was the 8th.
I have no idea.
San Diego Comic-Con schedule. Let's see. Homepage. I feel like I saw somewhere it said that they were announcing on the 8th. Did I make that up? Sorry if I made that up.
I have no idea.
Plan your visit.
I ain't.
Nope. None of this is where I need to be on this website. Oh, here we go. Schedule. Check back. They'll probably do one day at a time. Never mind. It says check back the week of July 8th for our full programming schedule. So I guess if years past or any indication, I don't know if they do. I doubt they do Wednesday. So like, I'm assuming Monday the 8th would be the Thursday reveal. Tuesday the 9th would be the Friday reveal. And then Wednesday would be Saturday. Thursday would be Sunday. So
I don't know.
We'll find out soon enough. You got to come down one year, Matt.
Do I?
Yeah, you do. It's fun. One of my favorite things about San Diego Comic-Con, especially compared to many other conventions and film festivals, is that the convention takes over the whole city. Like all of downtown San Diego is San Diego Comic-Con. And that means there's so many fun things you can do, even if you don't have a badge, you know? Like not everything is in the convention center. And a lot of times some of like the periphery activations are the best stuff.
Yeah, I just don't want to wait in line for things.
I mean, you, my friend, are press. You can find ways to not have to wait in line, but some of those lines are well worth waiting in.
I'll come to party. I mean, like that. I have no desire to cover. I'll come to party sometime.
So come down and come party, and then we'll go to Brian's 24, and we'll eat a turkey club or something.
Yeah, but then I think this year you're backed up against Midsummer Scream, and I was debating going to that. I've never gone to that, and I kind of want to see if I can just go to that.
But is it really going to be fun without us there with you?
I mean, it would be very fun if you were all with me, but I have
exactly.
No,
you're not allowed to have other friends, Matt.
Thank you.
Hi. All right. You have see any questions that you like?
I think we could just get into.
Do you play golf, Matt?
I tried. My friends growing up tried to get me to like go to par threes just to get into it, and I don't have it. I'll go to the range. I'll go
Yeah,
fuck around.
when are we gonna go to Top Golf?
I'll fuck around at Top Golf. I'm fine with Top Golf and like ranges. I sit going through a whole 18 holes, even a 9 hole.
I
No.
get it. I mean, even though I play 18 holes is quite
Yeah.
difficult for me. It's quite difficult here, and also like even physically, like
Yeah.
my body is like fucking hot and tired
Yeah.
by the end of 9. I want to go
It's
home.
just not the kind of sport I want to play.
I feel like if you did it enough, you'd get into it though.
I
And
mean,
I do think Top Golf is an important thing to put on our calendar very soon.
I can do Top Golf. Yeah.
Okay.
That's easy.
You should go, Andrew.
There you go. I've heard about Monsterpalooza. My big one is Midsummer Scream. That's
What is this? Lanterns? And the It prequel series.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the prequel
Yeah.
series. They got returning. Like Skarsgård's coming back, so like he's doing it.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm into it if it stays in the same vein and same tone. Like I think that's good. Obviously, like it went from what was it before? It was the changeover. Like where was it releasing to? Like if it just
I think it was always there.
It was always okay.
I would just imagine it was like HBO Max instead of Max.
Got it. Okay.
Because it's a Warner's movie.
I'm stoked up.
Travis, if you're putting, why are you swinging the club? Don't swing the club. Hi.
Skarsgård, right. Shani. I like that. Will the It prequel follow Pennywise as a clown child? Actually, that'd be funny as hell. I would love that.
It'd be kind of funny. That sounds like more of an SNL sketch or something.
Actually, yeah. No, it's going to follow obviously that before coming. You know,
Pennywise just emerged fully formed, right?
Yeah, so it'll be like a Pennywise origin story, I guess to say. Which again, I'm into.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
It is one of those things though, of like, do you really need the over-explaining? Like, I think Pet Sematary Bloodlines was kind of one of those things of like, did we really have to go back? We know, we get it.
I defend that movie. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was the greatest thing in the world, but I think a lot of the ideas that they put forth in that movie are pretty solid. What's happening?
Amelia was just like, Derry is explained in great detail, and like his origin is explained in great detail in the book. So like, yeah, like that. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
I think there's a lot of spin-off possibilities that the book offers up, because like it does have the main through line with the primary characters, but there are so many little interesting side stories that I think are well worth exploring.
A bunch of people asked if I saw. I didn't see the Afraid trailer yet.
I didn't see it either. I see one here.
Yeah, someone else. Another one that I missed. There were a few. I have not seen it yet. I'll have to go watch it after this.
I have to watch that too. I have to watch so many trailers.
I fall behind on trailers too. I like going into a movie not knowing things. It's the one thing about like when I had to cover this industry news wise, I was like seeing every trailer because I had to, but I didn't really want to. So like I like kind of staying away from them if I can.
I do and I don't. I'm just really in awe of the art of trailer editing, and I don't think it gets as much credit as it deserves, because admittedly, I do feel like some trailers are whipped together in a heavy-handed manner where it does feel marketing for the sake of marketing to make money. But when a trailer is just artfully constructed, I love a good, like chill-inducing trailer for any genre for that matter. But a well-edited one is something special.
I get you.
Do you have a favorite?
I get you.
You said you didn't watch this really, right?
No, I didn't really. I would have
Tale of the Midnight Madness. At least watch that before Nosferatu.
Okay.
It's good. I still watch that one. All right, MaXXXine.
Yeah, we did.
Non-spoilers first. Non-spoilers first.
Okay, got it.
Go.
So just go. Just do it. So like it's a little difficult, not difficult, but like it's a little weird because when I left the premiere and like after we saw it and we, I had my first reaction, I was like, yeah, okay, like this is good. I had my fun with it. I do believe it's a little shallow, and I do believe where Ty West is obviously influenced by different eras of cinema throughout every movie in this quote unquote franchise, we'll call it. So like the X universe, like obviously we know where X came from, Texas Chainsaw and all that kind of era stuff. Pearl, go even earlier, go with Technicolor, go with like honestly musicals and things like that. So like you get those vibes.
What did
It's
he used
easy.
to call it? Something Demented Disney is what he used
Demented
to
Disney.
call it.
Okay, so there you go. So Demented Disney. So like MaXXXine follows in that pretty well, where it does feel unique and distinct. This is a sleazy '80s LA movie. It's very quintessential. Like think Jack Shoulder and stuff like that, who just like went to the underbelly of LA. I like that. It feels procedural. It feels weird. It feels gross. The Night Stalker stuff plays into it really well with the true crime. But then like the more I thought about this movie and the more I really tried to like piece together the story that's told, I just feel like the other films he at least had more original storytelling to his name. Like I think X especially, like that is him telling his own story, and I love that. Where to me, MaXXXine feels like a sum of influences that don't really come together the way he wants them to. I do agree with that comment we saw before, where the third act kind of falls apart a little bit, and it just felt really. It felt like pageantry in a way. It didn't feel like there was anything beyond the makeup and the costumes and things of that nature. Like the aesthetics, great. Cinematography, beautiful. Score, amazing. But just hollow. It didn't bring anything at the end of it for me. So the more I have actually sat with MaXXXine, the more like my review is like a 3.5 out of 5, where I'm like, again, good. Fine with it. I like this movie. Now I would probably give it a 3 out of 5. And I can easily say this is the worst of the three.
I said this before, I'll say it again. I can't rank them. I think they're all so incredibly different.
Yeah, they are.
I love how different they are. And I love the fact that means I'm going to feel like watching a different one on any given day. And I think that is a real accomplishment, because as much as I love, franchises with a strong identity that continue a story in a more traditional manner, pretty damn cool to have a franchise with what I think at least is a strong through line, but where every single installment feels so incredibly different and delivers a different feel. I think that's really cool. I don't find it hollow. I mean, I'll explain a little bit more why when we get into spoilers, but I've found all three movies to be a really thoughtful examination of people's different experiences seeking fame, where the desire came from, what compels them to forge forward, and what can pave the way to success for one where it doesn't happen for another. And I think that third act is extremely important to that. I kind of don't think it lands without that third act. I love how I'm just dancing.
I know.
Around.
Yeah. No, I know.
It is.
We'll get
but other non-spoiler things that I really did love about MaXXXine is, again, like Mia Goth is like on another level.
Yeah, agree with that.
On
like
another level.
No argument there.
This is an early scene in the movie, but I'll use it as an example because it's non-spoiler. That audition scene is friggin' phenomenal. Like watching her turn on a dime so effortlessly, or seemingly effortlessly from my perspective, is really something else. And another thing I loved about the movie is that it's got a pretty large supporting ensemble around her, and everyone makes an impression and everyone has value. Like they all serve they do. They all serve a purpose, I think, leaning into the 80s thriller style and or getting the audience to feel for them and understanding where they're coming from, even if they don't get a lot of screen time, so that ultimately you care about what happens to them at whatever point in the movie you need to.
I will push back slightly on that. I do think some of the supporting characters are left behind.
Give me an example. Give me an example.
I want to make sure I'm thinking of the correct character, because I want to make sure I'm right. So I'm just going in right now.
Oh, I'm going to get mad when you say this. I can feel it.
So is it Lily's?
Molly?
It might be Molly.
It like the original star of The Puritan, the first movie.
Yeah.
Where she has the conversation with MaXXXine at the trailer.
Yeah,
I don't
think that's super done well.
Bad example.
No, yeah, I think Lily kind of just like
no.
I didn't think that was done especially. I love Larry Fessenden showing up as a security guard.
I enjoyed him.
It was just funny for me. I'm just like, of course Larry's here. Of course he's like able to do this.
No.
I think another thing is like, all right, the one major point I'll make here is a spoiler, so I will not do it yet. Okay. I'll hold that.
Fine.
But like, I fucking loved Bobby Cannavale and Michelle Monaghan.
I did too.
But at the same time, I feel like their arc doesn't have the payoff I think it should. Everything happens very as I expected, and that's all I can really say, non-spoilery. I never felt like West, and this is what I say, where like West is just recreating movies he was inspired by to me, because I could clearly see where everything is going. This is laid out in neon fucking lights. There is no suspense for me. There's not a lot of the drama he wanted, and also like every part where it's like, oh, I want to make it like, I want it to be LA sleaze, but I also want it to be a giallo, and I also want it to be a slasher, and none of those ever come together into like a unified product for me, because it's like, cool, we get the giallo scene here, and then we get her right back doing the fame stuff, and then we get like, it just felt a bit jumpy versus having a uniform tone, where again I feel like X nailed that out of the park. I feel like that was, he nailed the sleaze, the messaging, the stereotypes of the genre at that point. Like I feel like that was so sharp, and this, like, the bulb is dimmer now. Like it's not the same.
I will disagree. I see your point in terms of the fact that like there are two storylines, but I do think it's necessary that they weave together, and I liked how they were woven together here. And I'm also thinking it's probably an easier thing to accomplish with a movie like X, where it was a single location, whereas here, like, I'd rather not use this phrasing, but Hollywood needs to feel like a character. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to feel expansive. And I think he does find great success with doing that without necessarily blowing the budget away. But it does feel like what you're describing feels like an easier thing to accomplish with a single location movie like
Fair. That's fair. 100%. But like, I'm trying to think of like recent examples I've even seen where, oh my God, I think I was like just comparing these two in a new review. Sorry, give me one sec. Like,
was it Longlegs?
So long. No, I loved Longlegs. Do not get me wrong. Shit, where's my diary? Sorry.
Where's my diary?
Where's my diary? Diary. Okay. Oh, A Quiet Place. Fucking A. Okay. So, example, like, I feel like A Quiet Place does such a good job of turning New York into a caricature, like whatever you want to say, a character, I guess, to say. Like, the city becomes a living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
Where, to me, in MaXXXine, it's more just an illustration. Like, it's just something that's painted on in the background, where I felt like New York was so lived in day one.
I actually feel like on that particular point, I do feel the exact opposite. I was really impressed by how he made like MaXXXine's places in Los Angeles feel so real. Like, I can tell she's been there for a while, and watching her navigate those areas felt like really full and rich and real to me, which I appreciated.
We're the opposite. Yeah, we're the opposite. Let's just go spoilers. Let's do it.
I feel we're the opposite. I love the movie. You like
I like it.
A little
like,
more lukewarm.
I guess lukewarm now. Yes, I went from saying good to fine.
Okay, all right. Well, that's where we land non-spoiler wise. But now it is time. MaXXXine spoilers. If you have not seen the film, this is where we say goodbye, and we tell you to check out our work at other places. Like, Matt, where can people find your great work?
At Donatobomb on all the social medias, mainly Twitter and Letterboxd and Instagram for now. I also do the TikToks and the Blue Skies, but I am writing everywhere. I cannot tell you where exactly I'll be, whether that's honestly a Blu-ray booklet now or actually online or in a magazine. I don't know. So Donatobomb, DONATOBOMB.
Go check that out. And also, if you are into MaXXXine, the MaXXXine conversation continues on the Collider Ladies Night YouTube channel. We've already posted the Elizabeth Debicki episode. And again, she was wonderful. If you want insight into the craft of acting, she is someone who is especially good at articulating that. And then just launched this morning, actually, is Mia Goth's return to Collider Ladies Night. I was so happy to have her back. And I really love having people back on Ladies Night for next installments of franchises. It really is like a fascinating corner of the conversation to be able to explore like how they've changed, how their outlook on Hollywood has changed, how their craft has changed. And
well, like, you can have your own little trilogy. Like, you literally can have a trilogy of how it goes.
It is kind of it's interesting. I don't think I wish we had done one for X. We did not.
For X. Yeah.
Things were weird during that time. I feel like everything was in back full force, but it really is interesting listening to the conversation that we had for Pearl and then seeing how things have evolved for her since. So Check out both those conversations on the Collider Ladies Night interview channel. I just combined the two Collider channels. The Collider Ladies Night YouTube channel. Go like them. I love it. The check is now a like. Go like them. Go comment on them. And then share them with all your friends and family. Please and thank you. All right. MaXXXine spoilers.
Can you pull up? We're doing spoilers, but I do want to pull up a chat that came at 3:55.
What is it?
3:55 from Jordan.
Okay. From who?
Jordan.
This.
Yeah.
Just came back from MaXXXine. The two main problems for me were that MaXXXine was so badass, we needed a much more impactful villain to convince us there was ever a threat. The dad plot was clumsy too.
The thing I didn't want to say before because we couldn't do spoilers was the dad shit. I thought that was the worst way to go with this. I was utterly underwhelmed by how obvious it was from the beginning, and I understand that's part of it.
I didn't think.
Oh God! The opening scene, like you show us the opening scene, and then you show us the gloves and this man who we can't see because he's a secret. Like no, I knew that was. It was disappointing because that was exactly where I thought it was going, and it's exactly where it did go. And I get the satanic panic at the end of it, and it does make for a cool visual when all the cultists are with him, or they're doing their thing and they're trying to shoot their movie.
I love that.
Like there are cool elements to that, but again, I felt like for MaXXXine's story, that was just like one of the worst ways to handle it. So that did fall apart for me. I agree with the comment that said the third act fall apart, and the more I thought about that. And then the way Ty West doesn't want to tell you if like what she's seeing is actually real when she has the gun pointed over her dad and she goes through that whole kind of montage. Like I get it. I again, like we're 3 out of 5. We liked it, but that didn't work for me as much as I wanted to, and that was the lasting impression.
Back to the first half of, or I think whatever the other half of that comment.
The other half of that. Yeah.
I actually really liked, like, this was one of my favorite things about the movie and the character specifically. I loved the balance between her being a badass and a very believable, formidable force, but while giving her like just enough vulnerability. Like that scene when Moses Sumney's character dies, that's one of my favorite scenes. And she is like visibly upset and shook by his death. I think there's a bunch of like really effective moments like that remind you that even though she is like running through Hollywood like a wrecking ball, like going to achieve her dream and nothing's going to stop her, there are these moments where the events of X come back and like smack her in the face, or where something scary happens to her, or where she needs to reconsider when and how to act, not in her self-interest, but for other people. I thought all those were really beautifully planted. Yeah, apparently everyone thought the dad thing was super obvious. I didn't necessarily think he was the big bad. Obviously, because of the opening clips, I thought he was involved in some capacity. I didn't necessarily think that like dude was the man in black with the gloves on orchestrating all of this. But personally, I think that's where this had to go. I mean, literally everything about Pearl and also MaXXXine is about, their upbringing and things that were instilled in their mind and how they react when they can't have what they want. I think that's really important. And then also leaning into the reverence for 80s cinema and what was going on at the time. I also thought those two things collided quite nicely. And as someone who loves a movie about making movies, I loved the dichotomy between someone making a big Hollywood horror movie and then also the movie her dad is trying to make in order to like rile up the industry and the world in a sense. I thought those two things paired quite well.
I like, so playing off of that, like first I will say my favorite stuff of the movie is Elizabeth Debicki and Mia Goth doing like, in their mentorship, I guess to say, of like her training her up to be like, you're a big girl actress now. Like you got to do these things or we're going to kick your ass to the curb. Like that stuff did work for me. Like you just said, a movie about movie making. Awesome. Love that shit. I'm always in on it. So like that worked for me. But then going back to what you said about MaXXXine and kind of how she has to readjust herself based on the previous movies and what she learns in MaXXXine. My favorite of that is she's talking to Michelle Monaghan's detective character. I think. And there's that moment of like, why don't you want to save other women? And it's like, because no one saved me. And like that arc, I think, is well done. I like that transition of where she is at that moment halfway through the movie and where she gets to later when she finally is like, no, fuck, I do have it is on me to save some of these people. I understand that I had to go through hell, and I understand that no one helped me, but like I can now use that to help other people. So like
Yeah.
that worked. And I think well, the last thing I'll say really quickly is
Okay.
the dad stuff. I will just say I don't think it's necessarily a killer that I saw it coming. Like I've seen movies coming and still enjoyed them very much. I just think it's the way the movie plays it and how it is. The reveal is such a big part. And so to me, it's
That's
like
fair. That's fair.
it plays the reveal in such a way, and we have to sit through this whole movie where we're going through the procedural aspects, and I'm just like, this is what it is. This is what it is. Fuck, this is what it is. And like that's it. So sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think before I was gonna, like again, her fighting to make sure other people are saved and they get to live is the much more important thing. But I do really like the idea, and again, this is an example I think of weaving somewhat different ideas together quite well. The idea of like her needing to save herself and stepping up and having control over a situation in this fight against this serial killer, and also what Elizabeth Bender and MaXXXine are doing in Hollywood. Like they got to stop at nothing to make their own opportunities, and
Yeah.
like the energy and the drive and the push to achieve both, I thought really kind of amped up the thrill of the movie quite well for me in both settings, and also again made sure that the movie cutting back and forth between the two plots worked quite well for me as well.
No, that's fair. I'm just looking at other comments really quickly. Do you need to see other movies to understand MaXXXine? You definitely need to see X. You can get away without seeing
Yeah.
Pearl, but Pearl makes it better.
Yeah.
So like
I think the thematic elements of Pearl I think really amplify this quite well.
Yeah. But again, like the stuff that did work for me here again is the aesthetics. I love going into like having a moment in a prior film where you're talking about Psycho and stuff like that, and then you end up in the Psycho house in that one scene. I think
I like that.
there's some good back
I
and
like
forth.
that.
The one thing I'll laugh at is
This scene is
yes,
excellent.
I was just gonna say
Excellent scene.
We're talking spoilers. That nut crush is fucking good.
Someone recently just told me that they knew the actor who played Buster in that scene.
Okay.
That's a really great single scene performance.
Yeah.
I just looked him up. His I hope I pronounced his last name right. His name is Zachary Morin. It's 2 O's. I hope I pronounced that right. But like job really well done stepping in for one scene, and
yeah,
excuse my language right now, but crushing it because really good. Speaking of crushing it, the Kevin Bacon scene.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon's doing real good shit.
Excellent death scene. Loved it.
Excellent death, and also him doing a real good embodiment of those kind of 80s gumshoe private eyes. It's like just being from Louisiana with that accent, like he's just living up that kind of just ick factor.
Same thing with how Bobby Cannavale and Michelle Monaghan do the cop thing.
I love Cannavale. Cannavale, I think, might be my favorite in the supporting.
I don't know if this entirely worked for me, but I think I'm so tickled by it that I like it. Like Michelle Monaghan just like rolling down the hill after.
Oh my god, yeah! Like what the fuck was that?
Honestly, I don't know.
Like that was her just being like, and I'm dead bye, like just rolls away. Like, okay, you're
love every single time I watched it. I looked forward to that though.
That's fair. I get that.
I will tell you one thing that didn't work for me.
Okay.
And maybe it's a timing thing. Maybe it's how aware I am of how big of a no-no this is.
Okay.
When Sophie Thatcher's character leaves her when she's getting the head cast.
That's fair. Like, why would you do that? Yeah, that's not a thing that.
No,
I know you have to the scene, but
and I will say the rest of that scene I thought was really, really well done. What a great way to combine MaXXXine's past trauma with the situation she's in the moment, and like getting a head cast for a film is unnerving all on its own. When you add that extra horror factor, that's mad creepy.
You're never getting me in a head cast. No shot.
No, I like if I could have my head severed in a movie or smushed, I would 100% do that.
I don't know if I could do it.
I would love that. Please, someone cast me in Final Destination or Scream, and
there you go.
Give me a head cast.
Just slit my throat. It's fine. I'll just do the prosthetic here. We don't need to cover my head. Just I'll take one of those.
I'm literally down for anything.
Yeah. I mean, like again though, it's getting. It just sucks that like the farther I got from MaXXXine, the more I realized how I wasn't into it. Like it was when I'm in it, I'm involved in it, and like all the pretty things are enrapturing me. Like I'm able to stay focused and stay like, oh, like I am really enamored by this movie. And it really was when I started thinking about it. Like that was the rough part. It's when I started like trying to piece together the plot, what we see. Like the timing is weird. I actually kind of do agree with Andrew in a way. Like the release order makes the dad thing feel kind of slightly weird. And I do agree with that because you go from X to Pearl to this, and having Pearl in that mid moment. I get why that's important too, because we had to meet everyone in X to get Pearl and MaXXXine. I understand why that works like that, but it was kind of a jump, kind of harder.
Yeah. Patrick says, what threw me off the scent of him being her dad was him watching her at the peep show booth and sending the tape of her from X. I thought it could have been just some guy obsessed with her.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of where my mind had gone while watching the movie. And I think that's part of the reason why the reveal worked, is because I made certain judgments in terms of why one might do this. Right. And then it wound up being for like the exact opposite reason. You know what I mean?
I get that. I do get that. And again, I wanted to. I tried. I sat there going like, yeah, like this is what it could be, obviously, and it wasn't. And again, it doesn't. The make or break isn't knowing. The make or break for me is how it was handled. And the make or break for me is like what it tried to make us believe all along, and only for it to be like that's where it kind of lost me a little bit. And I think that end just drags out a little bit too, like you said.
Oh, I liked it.
With the rolling off the mountain and stuff like that. I love that it's by the Hollywood sign. I love that. I know it's great.
One of my favorite things now.
But like that was the boring way to handle it though for me though. I know that part's funny, and I love Cannavale's final words. I love all that part of it. But like,
I like that too.
Killing them both off just felt, I don't know. It didn't fit for me what it was trying to do. And I know it's MaXXXine's movie. I know all that stuff, but
I was okay with it. I think I was okay with it because I think his final words really worked for me. And I think also like they worked well for his character, but I think they served her arc really well too.
They did.
So I like that. And then like, I don't know, I guess I'm just like still really amused by her rolling down the mountain.
I mean, yeah, again, it's ridiculous.
Is that not the biggest fear in LA mountains? Like you could.
Oh yeah, you just keep rolling.
You could slip and you're gone. You're gone.
Yeah. No, you're out. You're done. Sorry. Game over.
Also, maybe this is like them rolling down the mountain in Scream 3. Maybe this is why I love it so much.
That's actually possible. That could be it.
That might be part of it. All right. With that, MaXXXine is out.
It. Yeah, no, I loved it.
I loved it.
I'm glad you loved it.
I think we talked about this last time. It's one of the movies that I've seen the most this year. I've seen it 3 times.
Jeez. Okay.
Really, really, really enjoy this movie. Inside Out became the movie that I saw the most, though, because of this last viewing with my niece and nephew. I've seen it 4 times in theaters now.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I don't. My mind might be Dude Party Massacre 3.
I mean,
I don't rewatch new movies.
What I would expect of you.
Yeah, like I can't rewatch new ones, and so I've been doing some things. So I had to rewatch it a few times.
All right, that's what we need to do. We need to watch the stuff we love over and over.
Yeah,
and new things, and experience new things.
I know you gotta do it all. I'm sorry, you just gotta do everything.
Exactly. And I hear the birthday boys little pitter patters.
He's been taking a little nap.
Next week, I think I'll be back in LA by next Merri Hour. So,
nice. Okay.
We'll be back in the same space. With that is a wrap on this weekend's episode. Everybody have a lovely weekend, which I guess is still a holiday weekend. So,
yeah,
go eat barbecue and be safe with whatever you do. And we will see you next weekend with a brand new Merri Hour. Goodbye.
Goodbye.